really hard when you're on the last little bit and it's a straight line. This has been like every handover is the same. We're doing the same. Last couple of days have been straight line sailing, same conditions, same angle, just a little tweak here and there. But it's about driving and going fast, so that's what we've got to focus on.
We gained some bearing on the T-top, which is important for us. So it brings us closer to New Zealand and brings them more behind our stern and in a strong position. It's the position you want to be in. I mean, everyone gains a little bit, more or less, but I think you lose maybe now 2 or 2.5, and hopefully now we are in a new breeze, we're going to gain back, and hopefully we gain it back big time.
They are going 3-4 knots faster than us. I don't think there is anything we can do to come back, but Brunel did a big mistake, going east. He's in a bad position. He's ahead of the ranking, but he has to come where we are, and he has less wind, I think, and we have a big chance to pass him.
So, and they have more pressure than us, so yeah, it's not, the next 24 hours will be not very pretty on the result list. I think we'll just go from like being at the top, we will go probably till even last, so that's not nice, but you have to do what you have to do.
And just ahead of us we have Mapfre. It's the opportunity to finish fourth, I think. So working on it, but Mapfre is difficult to pass.
And right now it's kind of a split in the fleet where 3 boats are the right of our bow, and of course they must be not seeing each other, but taking care of each other, and I guess opens a little bit the possibilities for us to do a bit better road.
For Mapfre, amigos. Espera un poquito, Dongfeng. It will be a pleasure for us to sail closer to Mapfre until the finish line and to fight. That's what we are going to do.
Yeah, I think it's like a 300-mile separation to Brunel and Mapfre at the moment, so we cannot do a thing about those guys if we wanted to. We just can't.
The long-term picture to Auckland doesn't show the pain that we thought we were going to see. The secondary lows developed on the cold front that's coming in, and that seems to be pushing the light airs we thought we were going to deal with at the end that would form a restart out the way. So as we come in with pressure, and it kind of stays with us. So fingers crossed that does happen, and it'll mean that the guys behind stay behind, and it's all about us catching the guys in front.
All the teams know there's a lot of racing still to come as we get into the final 600 miles of leg 6. Hong Kong to Auckland is going to be concluded in the next few days. And look at the spread that we have on the fleet at the moment. Team Axonabel, along with Sun Hung Kai Scallywag and Turn the Tide on Plastic, very much in the south. To the north, Team Brunel losing out with Mapfre and Dongfeng Race Team just starting to slip past. Sun Hung Kai Scallywag has gone into stealth mode to try and squeeze past their nearest 2 rivals, and that high pressure is certainly going to dominate proceedings for the next few days. Now, as we said, Bauer Becking on board Team Brunel have lost out. They tried to do something brave, it didn't quite work out, and we caught up with skipper Bauer Becking to ask him about what the mood's like on board and what exactly happened.
It's clearly very open. It's all depending what the high pressure system, what the center of the high pressure system is going to do on the top of New Zealand. Because if the boats are leading right now, that's quite clearly Axo, Skelly, and Turn the Tide.
Well, as you say, the forecast has changed. It's put you in a little bit of a tough position. How much has it affected the boats near you, Dongfeng, Mapfre as well?
The 3 leading boats took definitely the long road. My friend Dongfeng took the middle road, and we took the shortcut. And even like right now, my friend Dongfeng have passed us on the water, so it was quite a loss against them as well.
Just talk us through that moment when you have to rally the troops round and explain that there's a little bit more work to do.
Well, that's always one of the things. We give, of course, feedback on the position reports, on the weather, why we're choosing certain courses. And even like yesterday afternoon, there was still the option was there to make the shortcut. And then you talk it through together with Pete and KP, and you say, okay, we're gonna cut our losses and sail the low road.
Any continuing sort of boat work niggles? Is the equipment working well at the moment?
No, I think in general it's all working really nicely, and we didn't have any breakages beside one little mishap, I think, on the second night out when we had to tack and the runner got caught around the set C station and ripped the pulpit off. That was just a human mistake.
And we had Annie Lush on the show a couple of weeks ago. She explained that you guys were one sailor down, not something that you planned for this leg, but how has that worked out for you? What effect has it had?
I think it was actually all right. Sally Barco is with us, and this is an easy leg. We have just maybe the first 2 days when it was windy upwind was hard, but for the rest of it has been easy sailing, not too much breeze. So missing one person, you do not really feel it in the crew because everybody just puts the shoulder a little bit extra under it, and it has worked out all right in this leg.
As we get close to the finish line in Auckland, could we see a little bit of a restart and a compression?
Well, that's all depending what the high pressure system is doing. Like one of the models is now saying that we're actually jiving down the northeastern part of New Zealand. And of course, jiving, very quickly big differences can appear, and one boat picks up a little bit of extra breeze, and all of a sudden you go 1-2 knots faster than somebody else. And there might be big gains and big losses. So the jibing is actually, I think, a good scenario for us in the deck.
Bauer Becking very much keeping the fight alive on board Team Brunel. And for the objective observance as to what's been happening over the last 24 hours, we spoke to the onboard reporter, Jan Ryu. And I asked him what it was like when those scheduled position reports started coming in and the bad news had to be reported to the rest of the team.
Well, highs and lows, that's the good word, I think, for it, because this morning the mood, of course, was not as good as we could expect. But that's normal. But I think the guys they react well, and they focus on the speed when they're on deck, and they know that if the forecast has changed once, it can change again, and maybe this time in our favor. So. Keep on pushing on deck for the guys and crossing fingers downstairs.
When the chips are down, how does the crew look to Bauer Becking, the skipper, for motivation and for leadership?
To be honest, this boat is quite different from the other boats that I know in terms of reaction when there's a position report. First of all, I don't see too many reaction. I think the guys will just focus on what they have to do. And I guess they will probably maybe they will have some discussion, but I think they keep that for the end of the leg and the debrief on shore. But what I'm saying is true. There's not too many discussions regarding positions and strategy and decisions in general.
So still some work to do with Team Brunel, but the fight very much alive, indeed with all the teams. The last few hundred miles is going to be interesting. Big weather system plus local effects as well, so keep your eyes peeled. Tomorrow we'll have a quick fix for you, then another daily show at 1300 UTC, and we're getting very close to the arrivals, so you'll want to keep your eyes peeled on the Twitter feed and our social media channels for those ETAs as they get closer and closer to that final finish. And we're going to leave you with a little bit of a treat. As you saw today, we were speaking to Jan Ryu, the onboard reporter from Team Brunel, tucked away in the media station right at the back of the boat, and we asked him to give us a little bit of a tour as to what life was like down there.
This is normally the 100 capes boat, and my boat is a little bit is the above one, so it's very close to the office. I can have an eye on the office when I'm in my boat.
And you just angled the camera up there. I mean, that was the cockpit floor, but essentially your ceiling just above your head. I mean, that looks like centimeters.
This is I guess the bottom of a winch. So it's like one hand away from my head right now. What else can I show you? Just here I have my fan. As you can see.
Very nice.
Everything is a little bit tiny.
And I'm guessing on sea states like we're seeing at the moment, it's relatively flat, but you've probably been sat there in some big waves. Your head gets banged on the ceiling a lot.
Unfortunately not. It doesn't get. As I said, I'm lucky. I'm not very tall. But there are other challenges when the state is quite rough here. Just moving downstairs is a challenge.